Okay guys, we're on the second part of Everything's Roses for Lark's Garden. We finished the rose petal cream, or rose beautifying cream, whichever one you want to. And let me show you the finished product, because I meant to show it at the end, all nice and chilled, but I totally forgot about that. I'm always forgetting things. See? Pretty much solid. Keep it, kind of smells like roses, kind of smells a little bit like geraniums, but don't cap it tightly until it's totally cool, and I'll put that back in the refrigerator. Really heavy jar too. The second portion is I just pour the rose infused oil back into the jar. I want you to notice this at the bottom, the little red ring. That's kind of some of the liquids that come out of the petals. And when I am finished what I'm doing, I'll pour it off until I get almost to that, and then I'll dry the jar out and then put the oil back in, because I don't want to keep the liquids in there because it encourages mold in the oil. But we're just going to make a rose infused lip balm. We have thousands of lip balm videos on YouTube. I do know that, but if someone asks me and it's something that I use, I'll try to show the video if I can. So in our pan, we melted 1 tablespoon of beeswax granules. I like the granules because I think they're easier to work with. We also melted 1 tablespoon of kukui nut butter. You can use shea butter, any kind of butter, because this is your lip balm. You're going to put whatever it is that you want. The pan is still pretty warm because you want some of the things heated and melted, but some of the things you only want to be warm. We're going to put a half a teaspoon of castor oil, and we can just stay on the table, babe. Let me find my half a teaspoon. My eyes have gotten so terrible lately, I can't see a thing. We're going to put a half a teaspoon of castor oil, all nice and thick. And the oil is still pretty warm, so that will help to get the mixture all mixed together really well. And we'll set that to the side. And as far as our rose petal infused oil, we're going to use 2.5 tablespoons of that. So let's do the half. There's the 1/2. And then we're going to do 2 tablespoons. There's 1. And there's 2. Because the rose infused oil is colder than the beeswax and the kukui nut butter, it will start to solidify a bit. This is really quick, really easy. Why buy lip balm with all that petroleum and stuff that they put in it when you can make it in your kitchen in maybe 1 minute flat? I've said this takes me 1 minute to do. That's including the melting of the butter and the beeswax. Not too hot anymore, so we're going to go ahead and put about a 1/4 teaspoon of beeswax. You know, not beeswax, but vitamin E oil, 32,000. And I'm also going to put 2 to 3 drops of the geranium oil, which is antimicrobial. That's about 3. Because I don't really like smells in my lip balm. Let me get my jar because my pouring is terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Put it in the jar because I want to pour it in my little containers. And we'll come back to scraping the rest of that out in a bit. Whatever type of containers, you can put it in a jar if you want to, if you want community property. But I'll give my husband one and my son one, and there we go. And it will solidify as it cools. I don't know if you can see the side of the jar, where since the jar is colder than the bottom of the top of the jar is colder than the top, it's already, once it cools off, it's going to turn into a nice solid lip balm. Let me get another one of my containers. And that's just some of the things that you can do with your rose petals. Oh my, I ended up with a lot more than I realized. Good thing I have tons of jars for sharing. So a few people will get this as a nice treat, I hope. And we'll let that cool completely. And as you can see, that's how it's going to look when it's pretty much cooled off. And you can still put it in the jar even if it is starting to solidify. And that works really nice on the lips. And that concludes this video. I don't think cameraman is paying attention. He's looking at me. Nice clean hands. Also note for the rose petal cream, I usually keep it in the refrigerator about 2 months. Usually by that time it's gone anyway, because I'm putting it on the face, on the neck, all over the place. You can also put it in the hair. Since it is a very heavy oil, I know someone's probably going to ask me. Lock users, you'll have to decide for yourself because it does have beeswax in it. But do my lips look all shiny? But thanks, guys, and I'll see you later.